What is up? What is up, man? Hopefully you all had a nice weekend, man. I struggled through the weekend, man. All my parlays over four just got smashed. But I probably hit about I hit two same game parlays in the bet last night. Saved my damn week. So, it is what it is. Uh Man, thanks everybody who rock with me. Whether you're on Facebook, the group, Twitter, here, TikTok, whatever the case may be, man. Um, I appreciate it. I just want to go through the slate today. The Sunday games. Just the first look, just a breeze through. I just want to breeze through it and just talk about a few things. A couple things that's gonna a couple things that pop out to me. It's only the weeks are going fast, but we're going into week 3 right now. If you're struggling, whatever case may be, whether it's DFS, whether it's on the books or whatever, I think you should just, take a little time to narrow things down in a good way. Like I say on the books, write down some of your favorite bets, write them down. And for DFS, just try to get, when you pick your players, you won't have people that's out there that's doing things. It's a lot of good spots this week. I see a lot of great games. It's crazy, So, let's see. Wednesday, I'd imagine DraftKings might drop their player props, at least for the 12 o'clock games, like they did last week. And that'll be cool. That'll be something I can double back on tomorrow to show you guys some of the props that I'm interested on, because that's where I really live at. And on prop bets. And they sponsor my channel. I have to touch on Prize Picks. And Prize Picks, for whatever reason, if you can't play on the books, Prize Picks is similar to the books. So I will have to, they have straight scoring props and they have fantasy props. So I have to touch on that. So hopefully I can integrate that into one video. But right now, this is just a first look, and I'm going to go right with it. Right now, let's start. I use DraftKings for the side-by-side view. It's pretty cool. So I can just run my mouth about a couple players from each team. So starting off with that Washington and Buffalo game, Tyler Heineke, man, he's going to be the quarterback. I mean, he played all right. I don't think I'll be able to get to him in fantasy or whatever the case may be. But going up against this Buffalo Bills team, of course, they'll probably, they'll probably be passing. I would probably lean. I don't have the totals or nothing in front of me, but I'll probably lean towards the Buffalo Bills in this one. But not too much for me to look at for fantasy. I mean, Terry McLaurin, he's coming in at 6,900. He's definitely in play. Diami Brown, I don't mind him on the books. I like it. I like to see what his props is going to be like. They do have a tough secondary over here in Buffalo, though, but so I don't really know what I'll be going towards. But that's outside of McLaurin and Logan Thomas, those are my main two guys for me. Tyler Heineke, I won't be going to him in no type of fantasy, no type of DFS. Period. It's too many nice quarterbacks on this slate. On the Buffalo side, what you see is what you get, man. Josh Allen, he hasn't had that bust out game, and he can have that monster game any given day. Singletary had a big run last game. Zach Moss got in there for 2 touchdowns. So last game, so there you have that. Stephon Diggs is the monster, and he hasn't had that monster outlier game, and that can happen any day. So Emmanuel Sanders, he was targeted at a pretty nice rate. I mean, he had a pretty decent. I think he had 6 targets. Yeah, he only had 2 receptions. And Cole Beasley, he's somebody who gets targeted a lot, but you just have to, figure out the game flow or whatever the case may be. Zach Moss did come back, so how much do you think they have to pass this game or whatever? We have to figure it out, man. You got to try to analyze these games. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Buffalo, if I'm mistaken, they was about a 9-point favorite or something. They are at home, so but they don't run the ball that much. But you know, you know, anything can happen. So let's move on over to my Chicago Bears in Cleveland. This is gonna be an ugly game. All right, keep an eye out for the status of Andy Dalton. He got hurt. Justin Fields came in and I don't even want to touch on it, but he did have 10 rushing attempts, so that's something to look at, man. So we got to keep the eye on the status of Andy Dalton because that's important. Justin Fields might get the start. David Montgomery, he had 20 rush attempts last game for about 60 yards, I want to say, and he had 3 or 4 targets. Allen Robinson, he only had about 6 targets, but he did get a touchdown. I had him on one of my tickets for 5.5 catches. I think he would have still got there if Andy Dalton would have played the whole game, but it was a different story when Justin Fields got in. Darnell Mooney, he had about 8 or 9 targets and he had about 6 catches. He's going to be out there all game, right? He's somebody who the Bears want to be great. They just got to find the right, we got to get the right, the right plays. Nagy, he doing them weak ass plays, but Cole Kmet. I mean, I can't get to anyone else over here. On the Cleveland side, it's really, really, really messy. All right. Baker Mayfield did get hurt. He came back into the game, so there you have that. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Nick Chubb is definitely in play. The Chicago Bears, they did pretty good against the run last week against Joe Mixon and the Cincinnati Bengals. Kareem Hunt, he can get loose in the passing game and the running game. But the wide receivers is where it's a fucking mess because we probably won't have no Odell Beckham Jr. or Jarvis Landry. So that leaves Peoples-Jones and Rashad Higgins. All right. It's just a mess. What did Peoples-Jones get? Peoples-Jones must have got, you have shorts too, but, these are none of the high target type of guys, but, on any given Sunday, anything can happen. Peoples-Jones had about, what do he have, like 3 targets, 1 target? He had 1 target last game. Shorts, he probably had about 1 or 2 targets. So he had 1 target, and Higgins probably had about, I don't know how many, I forgot how many targets Higgins had, but it is a mess. I think he had like 2 or 3 targets, man. So, but yeah, he had 2 targets, but he caught both of them. What they do like to do is throw to the tight ends, and Austin Hooper, David Njoku, and Harrison Bryant. They throw to all those guys. I think Hooper had about 5 or 6 targets, and who else? What's his name? David Njoku had like 3 targets, and Harrison had about 4 targets. You know what I'm saying? And these guys are going to get a nice amount of work going for them. But good luck on figuring out who's getting the touchdown. One thing about David Njoku, he does have a nose for the touchdown, for the end zone, man. So they're probably going to see a lot of running from Nick Chubb, a lot of 2 tight end sets, and that's how they probably going to play it. Moving on over to the Indianapolis, and I don't have a lean towards that game. I don't know who's going to win that Chicago game. Leaning on over to the Indianapolis at Tennessee. Carson Wentz. How do you, bro? The boy sprung both ankles, man. The man can't catch a break, man. He can't catch a break. He played all right, though. He played okay, man. I like the way he played, but can't catch a break, man. He can't catch a break. So we got to watch. We got to keep the eye out on that situation. If he ain't go, then Jacob Eason will be in. He did all right in the preseason, but, nothing to hang your hat on. We're coming right out right now. If you're playing DFS, I probably like Tennessee defense, especially if Carson Wentz ain't playing. And I think you'll get him cheap for about $2,200. Now, moving along, Jonathan Taylor. I think he had about 11 rushes last game. No, he had 15 rushes for 50 yards. He had one target, and, that was just, meh. They had to pass or whatever the case may be to stay in this game. Could have pulled it out, too. They could have pulled it out. Nyheim Hines, he didn't fare so well last game. Didn't get that many targets, probably one. Michael Pittman Jr. and Zach Pascal, they's leading the way. Paris Campbell did not play, so I didn't even fucking know that before the game, But it didn't really factor into anything. I had Michael Pittman Jr. on a couple tickets, and I played him in fantasy, and he had a really good game. He had 12 targets, 8 catches for 123 yards. So that really did some justice for me. These would be the two wide receivers. So, and then who will be stepping up in the slot is Mike Strachan. He played pretty well in the preseason. He's pretty good. I don't know how much work he'll get. Interesting thing to point out here is Jack Doyle. Jack Doyle did get in there. I mean, he didn't get in there for a touchdown, but he had a nice amount of targets. He had 8 targets. He caught 5 balls. So it'll be really, really, really good to see if Jack Doyle can come around, man. Especially Jack Doyle of old, but he's definitely in play, especially with the injury to Paris Campbell. On the Tennessee side of things, everything is self-explanatory, man. Everything here is concentrated. We know who's going to where and what's going to what. I don't have to talk about too much. Derrick Henry went bonkers with 3 touchdowns. They came back and won that game. A.J. Brown, he didn't have the target share that I thought he'd have. Julio Jones had a pretty good game. He had about, 8 targets, 6 targets, but, for over 100 yards, so he had a pretty nice game. So, there you have that. I mean, it is what it is what it is when you want to, if Carson Wentz ain't playing, it's going to really, really be ugly. It could be turned out to a Derrick Henry game and the limited passes and stuff like that. But it's hard to get a grasp on with a 2-game sample size of seeing how things are going to shape out with the addition of Julio Jones over here. Anthony Ferguson was banged up. I got to check the status on him too. So there you have that. Other than that, I just, Jeff Swain at the tight end position, it's just probably a no for me. Moving along. Where we at? Okay, here's a game that I have some interest in. Atlanta at New York Giants. Atlanta, they just played Tampa Bay, and Ryan. That was they were going to be down, and they had to pass. Good thing for fantasy, Matt Ryan, he did have 300 passing yards, of course, because we knew we knew they were going to have to pass. He's a seasoned veteran, so it's good to see him. Get a little confidence boost, even though they got the shit beat out of him. Mike Davis had 7 targets. I believe he had 7 targets. He had 5 catches on 7 targets. Remember last year, he filled in for Christian. He had 7 targets and 7 catches. So remember, Mike Davis filled in for Christian McCaffrey last year, and he did a really, really good job. Cordero Patterson, they used him as a gadget. is a gadget guy, which every team he goes to does use him as a gadget guy. He can line up in the backfield, and he can return punts, and he can get on the line and be a receiver. So that's interesting. And he did get a touchdown last game too. So but that's just something I'm pointing out here. Calvin Ridley, he ended up getting to the end zone as well. So he had 8 targets? Oh, he had 10 targets, 1 touchdown and 7 catches on that. Russell Gage, he bounced back from that horrible week 1. He had I don't even think he got targeted in week 1, and that was the thing that really pissed me off because I had him. I had him in one of my tickets, So, but he had 7 targets. He had 5 receptions, and that's the Russell Gage that I know. Moving along to the tight end position, and Kyle Pitts. Now, who is this? Kyle Pitts. Come on now. It's too early. I just got off work for all that, man. Man, Kyle Pitts. He had a decent game. He just didn't get into the end zone. He had six targets and 5 receptions right there. And then on the Giants side of things, you got Daniel Jones. He's showing all us the rushing upside that he possesses, and that's pretty good. We already knew he had a rushing upside, but it's pretty good to see him get out there. After being so bad or whatever the case may be, and trying to limit the turnovers, that'll be pretty good. Saquon Barkley is. You're going to have to keep an eye out for Saquon Barkley because he's going to bust out one of these games. His target share, his workload is getting a little bit, it's going up a little bit more. So don't sleep on Saquon Barkley, especially going up against this Atlanta defense is horrible. All right. Kenny Golladay, he's throwing a fit on the sidelines. He wants to be targeted. Of course he does. Daniel Jones needs to be a little bit more accurate as well, but these guys, they just have to get their rapport together. Sterling Shepard is damn near like the number 1 receiver over here. He's getting peppered with targets. Y'all know the drill. Darius Slayton, it is what it is. And as far as the tight ends, I can't look to nobody over here, but Kyle Rudolph is starting. He has a low target share. I like that Atlanta and New York Giants game. I don't even have a lean to that game either, man. I guess the right thing to do would be to lean towards New York Giants in that one, but I don't know. Hopefully it's a good game. I like that game for same game parlays and everything. And here we got a monster game right here. The Chargers and Kansas City. I don't have to say much about this game. I don't have to say much. So I'm just going to touch on a few things right here. Did you know this is going to be good for same game parlays? It's going to be a great game for DFS. It's going to be a great game for prop picks and all of that. Interesting thing to point out, week 1, Austin Eckler, 0 catches. Week 2, 9 catches on 9 targets. That's the Austin Eckler that we all know. And we all come to love. So another thing that I want to point out, I was really high on Mike Williams. I like Mike Williams. He got in there for me last week. It's good that they're using him in more ways than just going straight down the field and just run. We're gonna throw you a bomb. No, so that's great. I pointed that out last week. So Mike Williams, he had 10 targets and 7 catches and a touchdown for 91 yards. The first game he had 12 targets, 82 yards and a touchdown. He had a touchdown in both games. So it's really good, especially when you got Keenan Allen on the other side drawing some attention in a game environment like this. Yeah. Don't be surprised if you're going to see Jared Cook slide in there for one. He is Jared Cook. He's a seasoned veteran. He knows how to play the game. First game, he was targeted 8 times, and then for 5 catches. And then last game against Dallas, he was targeted 5 times for 3 catches. So there you have that. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, you know what to do. Y'all know what to do. I ain't even got to, keep going. I'm going to keep it moving. What we got? Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. This is a division game right here. Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon. It's a matter of fact that you want to get, if you want to get to him, Joe Burrow had a horrible game against my Chicago Bears. He threw three interceptions, and it was just really bad for him. He played horrible, man. He was 30 for 19, 207 yards. I need him to get 18 more yards, and I would have cashed the ticket. So that's just one of those dreaded. He didn't get 225 for me. That was one of those dreaded one-offs out of the 5 or 6 one-offs I had this week. But Joe Mixon, I mean, he's in play just from pure volume alone. This is a tough defense over here. On to the wide receivers over here. T. Higgins, he had, I believe, 7 catches on 10 targets. No, 6 catches on 10 targets, I believe. But, he's firmly in play because they're going to have to, 9 times out of 10, they're going to probably be down. They're probably going to have to be throwing. I mean, that's probably how this game is going to shake out. So, like I said, T. Higgins, he had 6 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown. Then you had Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had 4 targets and, a touchdown. Jamar Chase had a touchdown in, his last 2 games. Tyler Boyd, he was targeted a decent amount. He had 9 targets last game. So last year we know Cincinnati was pass heavy. So, if for whatever reason they have to get back to their strategy, they have the personnel. I just can't get down with none of their tight ends, so I won't be looking there. They definitely, Uzoma does have touchdown upside. He can't get in there for one, but I'm just not going there. On the Pittsburgh side, Ben Roethlisberger, he just needs to step his damn game up. But he's old and he's on his way out. This should be his last year. So Najee Harris, he's going to be out there. He got in the end zone for me, last week, saved the day. But, he's going to be out there, the whole time, if not, most of the time. Most of the time. And, I definitely like me some Najee Harris. Deontay Johnson got hurt last game. I think he might be able to play, so keep your eye out on that status. Juju coming out the slot, you know what he does. Chase Claypool, catch him deep. He likes to throw the deep or throw the jump ball to him, man. I believe this is an overall good matchup for Pittsburgh. I'll lean towards Pittsburgh in this one. Now, let's keep it moving. Dang. Baltimore and Detroit, I don't want to touch too much on this game, man. You got Goff, and then you got DeAndre Swift, and he's like the passing back or whatever the case may be. That's what he likes to do, and Jamal Williams, he likes to do that as well. They like to pass to them. I don't know what happened last night, but against the Packers, but Tyrell Williams, keep your eye on his status. He's the number 1 over here. He was in concussion protocol, so he might be ready to go. So you got to keep an eye out on him. Khalif Raymond, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Quinton Cephas, he stepped up into that number 1/number 2 role against the Packers, and he looked really good out there, man. He had a touchdown, almost had 2 with that one-handed catch. He really, really looked good, man. And then T.J. Hawkinson, he's self-explanatory, one of the best tight ends in the league right now. His target share is through the roof, should be through the roof right now. Tough matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. You know what it is when you see them. One thing about Detroit Lions, they've been getting gashed. Week 1, they got gashed on the ground in the run game against. They let the rookie Mitchell. He got him 400 yards and a touchdown. So last night, you know, Jones got him for 3 touchdowns. Probably, I think, what was it, one rushing and two receiver, whatever. I don't know, but yeah. But he had a nice game on the ground, so they susceptible, to the run game. And Baltimore Ravens, they're really good in the run game. So you know what it is with Lamar Jackson. Tyson Williams is a pretty decent runner, man. Then you got Latavius Murray. He's got a touchdown in both of his games. Latavius Vulture Murray, he come over here doing that same shit he was doing, just taking touchdowns. But, it is what it is. Sammy Watkins, Marquis Brown has been playing really, really good ball as of late. And then, the one and only Mark Andrews, he hasn't had that monster game yet. But it ain't gonna be long before you get in the end zone 1 or 2 times. Moving on along over to the New Orleans and New England game. I don't really even want to touch on this game. This game is just so, it's so messy to me, man. I don't like this game. For DFS, for fantasy, I don't like this game. I wouldn't mind the defense, though. Probably lean towards New England defense on this one. Alvin Kamara has not been getting the receptions that we've been known for him to get. That's been a problem. Callaway, Harris, I can't get to none of these guys. I don't know what's up with them. On the New England side, though, Damian Harris, I needed one more rushing attempt for him. I had him for 16, over 16 and a half. I needed him for one more rushing attempt. All right. James White got a touchdown. I told y'all, watch out for James White because his target share is going to be going up, and rightfully so. Well, it never really went anywhere, to tell you that. He's been targeted at a nice rate every game this year. Well, both games. He had 6 targets in one game, 7 targets in the other game. Both games, 6 receptions. Now, he had a touchdown last game, so. Nelson Aguilar, Jacoby Myers is that guy for them. I need him to get one more catch last game, but that's neither here nor there. I never really mind Jacoby Myers. He's one of my favorite wide receivers. He's just stuck in a bad position. Used to be a quarterback, so he understands the game, route running, and where he needs to be. Tight ends from this side, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry. If I had to pick one, I'd lean towards, Jonnu Smith, but both of them are viable. I guess. Arizona and Jacksonville. Jacksonville, they're going to be pass heavy all year long with their bad defense, whatever the case may be. Not overall a good team, but they're going to be a pass mode all, and that puts Trevor Lawrence in play for yards, period. Whether you're playing on the books or on DFS, it's going to put Trevor Lawrence in play. All right. So James Robinson, I can't trust him for nothing right now. They're more focused on Trevor Lawrence in his passing game. So DJ Chark, this is where they need to get it together at, because DJ Chark, he gets a fair amount of targets. Outside of the last game, which was a tough matchup against Denver, because they have a very nice defense, but he was targeted 12 times against Houston, man, and not too afraid of the corners over here in Arizona. So it's a possibility he can see double-digit targets here. Marvin Jones has been averaging about 10 targets in every game. So and then he's got a nose for the end zone. He has a touchdown in both games. So there you have that. Laviska Shenault got hurt last game. Fucked up one of my tickets too. So he got hurt last game, but he's supposed to be back, and that's really good for Trevor Lawrence. You get Laviska Shenault coming out that slot. He's somebody who gets 5, 6, 7, 8 targets. And then at the tight end spot, O'Shaughnessy, he gets hurt. He just clunks out and gets hurt. So, it's just crazy. Kyler Murray's been killing it, man. Chase Edmonds, you can look for him for targets or whatever the case may be. I really like to lean on him, in the passing game. If I was to even bet on anything or, play him or whatever, but it remains to be seen how much they would need to be passing. We don't know. It would be nice to see a little shootout in this game. This game might have sneaky shootout potential. Watch, you never know. James Conner. James Conner is going to be the guy that's going to be getting those touchdowns at that running back spot. Maybe on that second and third down or whatever. When they have to try to punch it in, here comes James Conner. He did have about 9 rushing attempts last week. So he's clearly involved in the offense. So you can't forget about James Conner. For the wide receiver position, I did say last week, I was like, man, I think Rondale Moore, the rookie, I think he's going to come up and take the spot from A.J. Green. But I can't forget that last year, this was one of the fastest playing teams. And then, they ran most 4 wide receiver sets. And, that bodes really well. You know what I'm saying, for Rondale Moore, guys like Kyler Murray, and it just makes them more dangerous. Keep an eye out for Max Williams at the tight end spot. Somehow he just popped up with 7 targets. I think he had 9 targets or 7 targets, and he got 7 targets and 7 catches for 94 yards. So. It's just like any given Sunday, man. Any given Sunday, anybody could, pop up. And what else do we have here, man? New York Jets and Denver. I lean towards the Denver Broncos in this one. You already know. I don't have to touch on anything over there. What? Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon, they're in a timeshare, okay? They're in a true timeshare. So any one of these guys can sniff the end zone this game. Cortland Sutton, man, a monster. Tim Patrick is pretty good. Touchdown the last 2 games. KJ Hamler, he's a burner. He will burn you. And then you got Noah Fant. It's Noah Fant. I like me some Noah Fant. It's just we just don't know what type of what type of it's probably gonna be a run heavy game, man. They might get up a few touchdowns, run heavy, and get out of there with the W. Michael Carter. He's keep an eye out for Michael Carter because he's probably gonna be emerging. Okay, so he outsnapped. And I think he outsnapped Tevin Coleman, but I know he outcarried him, whatever the case may be, last week. So keep an eye out for Michael Carter, and I don't even want to mess around with these guys, Jamison Crowder, I don't know his status. Braxton Berrios, he sat out there. He had about 9, 10, 11 targets last game. So it's a really messy situation. I might have to touch back on this one, but no matter what, I'm definitely going to be leaning the Jets. Leaning towards Denver in that one. Miami and Las Vegas. Tua, he got hurt last game, and I don't know, man. I don't know if he's even going to be playing this week, And then so you had Jacoby Brissett coming in, and then shit. I don't know. I don't even know which one of them better. Shit, Jacoby Brissett got a little game, but you guys got to monitor that situation. The running back situation over here with Myles Gaskin and Ahmed, and I just don't, it's a meh, you know what I'm saying? I don't, I probably don't want to even go there. I know I ain't going there, to tell you the truth, because Myles Gaskin, he sat up there, he does get a decent amount of targets though. The last 2 games he did have 5 targets, he caught 4 and 5 on 5 balls, but that's probably the only thing I can look at him for. Wide receivers here. Devonte Parker, Will Fuller. Will Fuller should be back this week. He was supposed to be back last week, so he had he was out for personal reasons. But Devonte Parker, he had 9 targets and he had 5 receptions on those. Jalen Waddle, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here. Because Jalen Waddle was pretty good, so I'm going to have to touch back on that in my next video. I need to see if Will Fuller going to play. But yeah, Will Fuller can really help this team out, man. Damn. As far as the Vegas here, Derek Carr's been playing out of his mind. Keeping the eye on Josh Jacobs' situation. Kenyon Drake, I've been hitting on his props. His catch has been over 2.5. I've been smashing that. I like him in the run game. I mean, he can run. Not the run game, the passing game, but he's a pretty decent runner. He's an all right runner. He's average. Henry Ruggs, the burner. He had 5 catches last game. Brian Edwards, his catch prop been sitting around 2.5. He's hit that both games. So Hunter Renfrow coming out the slot. He's been getting about 7. He's been getting around 7, 8, 9 targets. No, about 6, 7, 8 targets. You know what I'm saying? And he's been making some noise with his targets. You know what I'm saying? He's always going to have that same role. So. Last game, he had 5 catches for 57 yards. He ain't reached the end zone. It's a matter of time before he does, though. And then Darren Waller, it is what it is when it comes to him. And then Mike Gesicki on the other end, he needs to step his game up. He'll probably be getting targeted a little bit more, no matter who's the quarterback for this game. And Seattle and Minnesota. Okay, Seattle and Minnesota, these guys. I mean, man, like I say, it's always a concentrated offense when you run up on either one of these teams. You know what you're going to get from Kirk Cousins and Russell Wilson. Chris Carson's and Dalvin Cook, you know what you're going to get. I mean, these guys, they're going to pound and pound, all right? Dalvin Cook got nicked up last week, but he came back in, all right? And if he so happened to miss, Alexander Madison backing him up is a pretty good running back. Wide receivers for Minnesota, it's pretty concentrated here. You got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and KJ Osborne. That's where the targets are going. KJ Osborne targets were pretty low last game. I capitalized on that. Right off the back, he crushed that. And they're gonna be like running 3 wide receiver sets, for the duration, man. Irv Smith, he's hurt, so And then DFS, you're still gonna get him cheap at 3,500. So, he had 5 receptions on 6 targets. The first game he had 9 targets for 7 receptions. Adam Thielen, he's got a nose for the end zone. You know what I'm saying? He's one of his one of Cousins' favorite end zone targets. Both of these guys hit. No, Thielen had, how many targets did he have? He had 8? He had 7 targets, 6 catches for 39 yards. Justin Jefferson on the other hand had 10 targets? No, 11. No, 10 targets, and he had 6 catches and a touchdown. So you know where the target's going here. Same thing over here. Metcalf had 10, 11 targets. Lockett had 10, 11 targets. Can they disappoint sometimes? Yeah. Do you know which one of them going to go off on any given game? No, you don't. But what I can tell you, Lockett has been playing out of his motherfucking mind lately and making some nice catches, man. Some over-the-shoulder, beautiful catches, man. Gerald Everett, Will Disley, they still getting some run. But, it is what it is with that. You got a guy like, I don't know. I have to go back and check what Gerald Everett had. I think he only had 2 targets, whatever, man. But they end up losing that game, man. So I don't have a lean to any one of these teams. I don't know who's going to win that game, man. And last but not least, this get your popcorn ready game right here. Tom Brady, the Tampa Bay against the Rams. The last time I checked, damn, it was one of these teams was favored by 1. I don't know what to say here, man. This is gonna be one of those games, though, man. Man, if they can protect Stafford, this should be an awesome game here, because Brady gonna go out there and do what he gonna do. Man, I don't have to say too much about this game here. I don't even have to say too much. Only thing I need to say right now is Tyler Higbee. I think he only had like one target. They need to get him in the game, man. And with that being said, man, peace out, man. Peace out. This is all I have, man. It's just my first look. Went through all the teams, man. If you guys, give me a like, a thumbs up, or whatever the case may be. I just wanted to walk through the teams and get a visual, man. Stay tuned for my next video, man. Peace.